Welcome back to IGN Live at San Diego Comic-Con. They haven't been around quite as long as some of the other DC TV shows, but they've certainly kept themselves busy and gotten really weird in the process. Here to discuss what's in store for Season 5, please welcome the Legends of Tomorrow, Caity Lotz, Brandon Routh, Dominic Purcell, and Executive Producer Phil Klemmer, and Keta. Did I get you?
Shimizu. Yes.
There we go. I'm sorry. Everyone's showing up and there's all sorts of surprises. We have actually breaking news. Deadline reported this morning that you're going to be playing Superman again on Legends of Tomorrow.
Well, in the crossover event.
But once again, you're donning that cape again.
Yeah.
This is we had like a lot of sort of just like, what was the silliest thing you were going to do, and then all of a sudden we have actually something to talk about. Can we talk a little bit about the crossover event and what's going on there and what that's like for you guys?
Phil?
Yeah.
Well, I think they're still breaking the story in the writers' room. This is the earliest they've ever kind of gotten to work because they want Crisis to be the biggest event that we've done yet. So not a lot to say, but
We have broken it. It has been pitched and approved, and now we have to write it.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow. Phil, how long has this been in the works?
Well, I mean, the thing that's interesting is we are shooting it later and it's airing earlier. So our show kind of makes your head hurt to begin with because it's about time travel, et cetera, et cetera. But now we also have to back our entire series into a crossover that hasn't really happened, hasn't been shot.
Oh boy.
Does your head hurt?
A little bit.
That's what it feels like to be us.
Welcome.
So let me get this straight. So Crisis comes, you're shooting it.
Yep.
Okay.
This could take the rest of the interview.
Okay.
We may just want to just move on.
leave the timeline stuff to us, okay?
All timeline stuff. So Brandon, I wanted to ask, how does it compare playing Clark Kent to Ray Palmer as an actor? Is it weird kind of shifting gears there?
It'll be interesting if I have the opportunity to play them opposite each other, which is kind of one of the things that might happen. Ray is kind of modeled a little bit after Clark. There are definitely Clark energy in Ray. So I'd say, there's a fair bit of crossover there.
Nice. I mean, crossovers are kind of the name of the game right now. That's sort of the big thing. Everyone there's no more sort of just standalone thing. And I would say, how does sort of the tone of Crisis compare to Legends of Tomorrow? Because you guys get very silly. You play around. You have fun. And then you're like, here's a crisis.
Yeah, we deal with that all the time. I think that's something we've gotten really good at, is balancing the weird wackiness, but still keeping the gravity of the situation. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we'll bring. Hopefully, our characters will be the ones to bring a lot of light to the crossover.
Yeah.
We're going to make fun. We're going to make fun of the Crisis.
I think
for sure.
I think the crossover and the Crisis, the energy of that could benefit from the Legends energy that we have. I think that's, obviously the last one was epic and amazing, but we do things a little differently on Legends of Tomorrow, and I think even injecting even more of that energy into the crossover is good, because you got to have those light moments to balance out the dark moments, and makes it all work better, I think.
I think that DC gets sort of a rep for being all broody and gritty, but then you have someone getting impaled by a unicorn at Woodstock. Like, okay, there's a lot going on there. I wanted to ask, what are some things that you guys maybe talked about doing or tossed around that didn't make the cut? Is there anything you can reveal about crazy ideas?
We talk about a lot of things.
Yeah, we leave like the wish list up, and the nice thing about going 5, 6, 7, knock on wood, seasons is that we've had things that have been on the whiteboard for so long that you can't erase them any longer. But once in a while, we'll go and be like, "Oh my God, yeah, the high school reunion slasher like episode. Did we ever get to that?" You're
Right.
like, dude, we have to do that.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's the blessing of having a show that continues, is that you can evolve, and all those ideas that were like room pitches a couple years ago, where you're like, we couldn't do that.
Or that were
All of a
joke
sudden-
pitches at one point. Suddenly it's like, hey, we have a way to do that. And then we do.
Very nice. Of course, that's one of those questions where you're like, what are the things you haven't done yet that you may do at some point? Probably don't want to spoil entirely. Sort of conversely, what are some things you guys didn't think you'd be able to get away with?
Everything.
I like having Stein, like the Sir Stein character. That seemed crazy at the time.
A singing puppet episode, that
Yeah.
seemed pretty
Return of the
crazy.
Mac, to have your big bad come out of a
Yeah.
coffin and dance.
Yeah.
That seemed like that might be the end of
I
the show.
I actually thought it was Bieber. I thought that was the end of the show. As soon as I saw that, it was like, okay, my career is done. It's over.
But it's interesting, if you think Bebo came immediately after Stein's death, and it was almost like we had to elevate our spirits, you know?
We were sad.
That was
sad.
one episode into another.
Yeah.
Oh, we weren't
That
really-
was that was technically the episode where we were grieving Stein. I mean, we had young Stein in it.
That's a testament to the tonal elasticity of the show.
I read somewhere that's how you give someone Stockholm syndrome, is just sort of jerking their emotions back and forth, and maybe that's how you build a good
That's
viewership.
how we
That's our
captured
goal
the
to the
audience.
audience. Yeah. Stockholm syndrome.
Nice, gentle Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned the puppets. There have been Bollywood dance numbers.
Oh yeah, that too.
What would be something you wish you could do?
If you were directing,
Pie in the sky. You can anything you want to do as an actress or actor.
Well,
Besides
I'm
the show?
I'm directing episode 5, so that one is going to be really fun, exciting. Yeah.
Is that like assistant editors month where like anything can happen? It's just like crazy dream sequences, or are you kind of you playing it safe?
Well, I think it'll be dependent on what the script.
you don't need a script, Caity.
They're just gonna let me loose. Give me a
Swing it.
camera. We're just gonna run around, see what happens. Yeah.
But if you could do, I don't know, like you could do claymation, do the whole thing. Like I don't know, get.
Tried to do almost did animation.
I'd do an animation.
That we're still pushing for the animation episode, because that would also mean we get an episode off.
Yeah, we want
Teen
to do.
Titans Go mixed with
Yeah.
somewhere. That's what I'm pitching.
I'd like to do a Christmas special. Oh, like a live Christmas special would be really fun.
Alive?
Yeah.
Live?
Yeah,
A lot
live.
with a studio audience.
Yeah.
Legends on Ice.
There'd be a lot of
We kind of did that
censorship
in our
going on in
finale.
that one.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, we just missed the
Live
ice
actors.
Yeah,
part.
there's no ice.
Get the
but-
B. Arthur musical number in there. Just get really silly with it. Well, that's good. I do love how weird you guys get. Obviously, there's the nice balance of historical figures and mythical creatures. Which do you guys find more compelling, Dominic? Which is better, historical figures or mythical creatures?
Oh, God.
Who would win in a fight? The past or things that never happened?
I don't know. That's a good question. I've never thought about that.
We're getting back to history this season.
Yeah. I reckon the creatures have been really interesting for me because they're just so outlandish and weird.
I mean, literally fantastical.
They're fantastical. The
Yeah.
unicorns, the puppets, as I said, the monsters, Wolfman. I mean, the list is endless.
You guys have fun. It's good to see it. I'm glad you're continuing to let this breathe and
Oh,
get out there.
absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for coming by. Legends of Tomorrow will return for a new season next year. Right now, we need to take a short break. When we return, another show that sees a group of ragtag heroes on bizarre adventures, but here's the twist. They're ducks. Am I talking about Disney's DuckTales or something much weirder? You'll have to stick around to find out. IGN Live will be right back.